Deep in the heart of Ethiopia's Omo Valley, where ancient rivers carve through landscapes untouched by time, there exists a mystery that has confounded anthropologists for generations. What drives a culture to transform the human body in ways that seem to defy our understanding of beauty, pain, and identity? What ancestral knowledge lies hidden within a practice so profound that it has survived countless generations, even as the modern world encroaches upon these ancient shores? The ethnographic evidence reveals something extraordinary. In this remote corner of Africa, women undergo a transformation so radical, so deeply embedded in cultural consciousness, that it challenges everything we think we know about human adaptation and survival. They stretch their lower lips to accommodate clay and wooden plates, measuring up to 6 inches in diameter. But this is not merely body modification. This is something far more mysterious, far more ancient, and far more essential to human survival than we ever imagined. The Mursi people number fewer than 10,000 souls, making them one of the last guardians of secrets that predate written history. Their cultural adaptation mechanisms have allowed them to survive in one of Africa's most isolated regions, where the harsh environment would challenge even the most prepared modern human. Yet these people don't just survive, they thrive, carrying forward ancestral knowledge systems that may hold keys to understanding human resilience itself. Archaeological evidence suggests the Mursi's ancestors made a journey 2 centuries ago that would change everything. Fleeing drought and conflict in the Durka Hills, they crossed the mighty Omo River in what their oral traditions describe as a miraculous parting of waters. But here's where the mystery deepens. The crossing wasn't just geographical, it was metaphysical. The tribal elders speak of 2 bulls that disappeared daily, leading their ancestors to discover not just new territory, but a new identity entirely. The anthropological anomalies begin with language itself. Mursi belongs to the Nilo-Saharan family, yet their cultural practices suggest connections to survival strategies that span continents. Why do the Kayapo of Brazil practice similar lip modifications? What invisible threads connect these geographically isolated peoples? The genetic isolation coefficients of the Mursi suggest they've maintained distinct cultural practices for centuries, yet these practices mirror traditions found across the globe. But let's examine the central mystery that has captured the world's attention. The lip plate tradition begins when a girl reaches 15 or 16 years of age, marking her transition from childhood to something far more complex than mere adulthood. The ritual is performed by her mother or another woman of the settlement, using knowledge passed down through generations of indigenous survival matrices. The process itself reveals the profound understanding these people have of human anatomy and pain management. A small incision, typically 1 to 2 centimeters, is made in the lower lip. But this isn't random mutilation. It's precise, calculated, based on ancestral knowledge of how human tissue responds to controlled trauma. A wooden plug is inserted and remains for approximately 3 weeks, allowing the wound to heal while maintaining the opening. Here's where the mystery intensifies. The gradual stretching process that follows isn't just about accommodation. It's about transformation. The girl herself decides how far to stretch the lip, inserting progressively larger plugs over several months. Some persevere until their lips can accommodate plates 12 centimeters or more in diameter. The question that haunts researchers is, what gives these young women the psychological and physical resilience to endure such a process? The ethnographic records reveal that teeth are often extracted, sometimes 2, sometimes 4, to accommodate the final plate. This surgical procedure, performed without modern anesthesia, demonstrates pain tolerance that would astound modern medical professionals. How do these people possess abilities to endure what would incapacitate most humans? What ancient wisdom allows them to transform physical trauma into cultural triumph? Cultural extinction probability data indicates that traditions like these are disappearing at alarming rates across Africa. Yet the Mursi have maintained their practices despite increasing contact with the outside world. Tourism has paradoxically both threatened and preserved their traditions, creating economic incentives while exposing them to outside influence. Some younger women now choose modernity over the lip plate, seeing it as a pathway to integration with the broader world. But those who maintain the tradition understand something profound about human identity and survival. The lip plate serves multiple functions that extend far beyond decoration. It's a marker of beauty, fertility, and social status. The size of the plate traditionally correlates with the bride price, the number of cattle a woman's family receives upon marriage. This isn't primitive economics. It's a sophisticated system of social value that has sustained communities for generations. The survival adaptation data indicates that the lip plate tradition may have originated as protection against slave traders. By rendering women less conventionally attractive to outsiders, the practice may have served as a form of cultural camouflage. If true, this represents one of the most ingenious survival strategies in human history, using apparent disfigurement as protective armor. Yet the deeper mystery remains. Why do these women take such pride in a practice that the outside world often views with horror or fascination? The answer lies in understanding that beauty itself is a survival mechanism. In Mursi culture, the lip plate represents the ultimate expression of female power and identity. Women who wear the plates command respect, receive attention, and hold positions of cultural significance that would be impossible without this mark of distinction. The ritualistic symbiosis between individual transformation and cultural preservation becomes clear when we observe ceremonial life. Lip plates are worn during specific occasions, serving food to men, milking cows, participating in weddings, and other important rituals. The plate becomes a bridge between the individual and the community, between the biological self and the social self. Modern anthropological studies reveal that unmarried girls and newlywed women wear their plates more frequently than older married women with children. This suggests the practice serves as a form of social communication, signaling availability, status, and role within the community structure. The plate becomes a form of nonverbal language that speaks volumes about a woman's place in society. But here's what's truly remarkable about Mursi survival consciousness. They've created a cultural practice that simultaneously marks individuality and enforces community cohesion. Each woman's lip plate is unique, handcrafted from local clay or wood, often decorated with patterns that reflect personal style. Yet all plates serve the same cultural function, creating unity within diversity. The ancient oral traditions suggest that the lip plate connects women to ancestral spirits and cosmic forces. Some plates feature hollow centers, which carry specific spiritual significance related to purity and pollution taboos. These aren't merely decorative elements. They're sophisticated symbolic systems that encode cultural knowledge invisible to outsiders. What happens when we examine this practice through the lens of human evolution? The Mursi have essentially developed a form of controlled biological modification that enhances social survival. By creating visible markers of group identity, they've strengthened community bonds and created barriers to assimilation that have helped preserve their unique cultural heritage. The psychological adaptation mechanisms at work here are extraordinary. Young women not only endure the physical process, but actively participate in perpetuating it. They understand that short-term discomfort leads to long-term social advantages. This level of future thinking and community investment suggests cognitive abilities that our modern individualistic societies might have lost. Could these ancient practices hold secrets to human resilience that we desperately need? In our modern world of increasing social isolation and mental health challenges, the Mursi have maintained community structures that provide every individual with clear identity, purpose, and belonging. The lip plate isn't just body modification, it's a pathway to psychological security. The environmental pressures of the Omo Valley have created a people who understand survival at the deepest levels. They've learned to transform scarcity into abundance, isolation into strength, and apparent limitation into profound freedom. The lip plate tradition embodies all of these transformations in a single, powerful symbol. Recent research suggests that tourism income generated by visitors wanting to photograph Mursi women has created new economic opportunities while raising ethical questions about cultural exploitation. Some women now wear lip plates primarily for tourist photographs, creating a complex relationship between authentic tradition and economic necessity. Yet the core mystery remains intact. Why do these people possess such profound understanding of human nature, community building, and survival psychology? Their social structures have evolved to maximize both individual expression and collective strength. Every aspect of their culture serves multiple functions, creating resilience that has allowed them to survive in conditions that would challenge any modern society. The anthropological evidence points to something extraordinary happening in Mursi society. They've created a culture where pain becomes beauty, isolation becomes strength, and individual transformation serves collective survival. The lip plate tradition embodies all of these principles in a single, powerful practice that has survived centuries of change. As we witness the rapid disappearance of indigenous cultures worldwide, the Mursi remind us of knowledge systems we can't afford to lose. Their understanding of community, identity, and survival may hold keys to challenges facing our increasingly fragmented modern world. What would happen if we approached human resilience with the same sophistication and cultural wisdom that has allowed the Mursi to thrive in one of Africa's most challenging environments? The women of the Mursi tribe, with their 6-inch lip plates, aren't artifacts of a primitive past. They're carriers of ancient wisdom about human adaptation, community building, and survival consciousness that we're only beginning to understand. Their practices challenge our assumptions about beauty, pain, and identity, while demonstrating possibilities for human resilience that extend far beyond what we thought possible. In the end, the mystery isn't just about why Mursi women stretch their lips with enormous plates. The mystery is about what these practices reveal about human potential, cultural survival, and the ancient wisdom that our modern world so desperately needs to rediscover. As we stand at the crossroads of cultural preservation and global integration, the Mursi offer us a profound reminder that true strength often lies not in conformity, but in the courage to maintain our most essential truths, no matter how mysterious they may appear to the outside world. The lip plates of the Mursi women aren't just cultural artifacts. They're bridges to understanding human resilience, community strength, and the ancient knowledge that may hold the keys to our collective survival. In their apparent strangeness lies profound wisdom about what it truly means to be human in a world that challenges us to adapt, survive, and thrive.